We are Bram and Simon, and we are building our future. After selling our house and buying a van, we are now in the middle of the conversion. Windows are built, insulation is installed, and cameras have been placed. This week we take off where we left last week. With a way too optimistic schedule and all the belief we can do this together, we continue insulating.
We can take this ride wherever it goes, as long as you're with me, I feel at home.
Good morning and welcome to another week of our van build. I first want to take this time out to thank you all. The amount of likes and subscriptions and positive messages we received is unbelievable, so thanks a lot. YouTube is all about the numbers, so please consider subscribing and help us grow our channel. So what are we going to do this week?
So this week we want to finish the insulating, and when that's done we're going to start with the vapor barrier. But before we do the vapor barrier we want to install our Maxxair fan, and when that's done we're going to start with the wiring.
I think that's a little ambitious.
A little bit too much, but we'll see.
Yeah. Last week we spoke to two people who are starting their van life this week, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was really inspiring to see other people do the same thing as we are planning. So we are really motivated to get this build done and go traveling.
So I'm going to start with the insulation.
And I go for a little walk with the dogs first.
Yeah.
Let's start?
Let's start.
So next to where we live now, there's a windmill. And today it's working. It's always impressive to see. Well, they don't seem to care much. You don't care, eh?
For the pieces of the fan that are in direct contact with the sun, we're using 19 mm of Armaflex, and for the parts that are not, we're using 6 mm of Armaflex. So for this beam, we're using 6 mm of insulation, because on this beam we will fasten the wall, and we're using 6 mm here because it's more solid than the 19 mm. So we just want to give an update because it's changed quite dramatically, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So show
So,
them.
yeah. Yeah, it's looking amazing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
A lot has been done, so I'm quite happy because it's not my favorite work to do, but it's coming along.
Yeah.
And so now we have to do this side. So all the misery all over again.
Dramatic.
Yeah, well, let's get to it.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, that's my slide. The pieces that are left are those pieces inside
You will
the
put your
doors.
hand trying to insert.
Yeah, those edges
really
are
sharp.
really sharp. So we didn't feel like doing them, so we decided to do the 6 millimeters. Then we ran out of 6 millimeters, so we decided to do the Maxxair fan. Then we found out we don't have enough sealant for the Maxxair fan, so now we are
Back to square one.
back to the pieces we don't like. Oh, and we need to do that one.
That's for you.
That's for me, yeah. Thank you. So let's go. I show you our dogs all the time playing, but this is the main thing they do all day. Sleeping. Archie. Hey. So tired. I'm on my way to the store now. We don't have enough sealer, so I need some sealer. And we need insulation, but they are out of stock, so we have to order that online. But now I'm on my way to get some sealer, so we can install the Maxxair fan today. It's supposed to be here somewhere. So now I'm going back to Bram and check how far he is with insulating, because I think he went for the last pieces of insulation. Thanks. We've had some hot days during our build, but I think it was never this hot. Nevertheless, we're going to install our Maxxair fan today. I hope we don't burn on the roof of this fan because it's boiling hot.
So here at the front of the van we've placed our air conditioning. When we move, I think like a meter or two, we have reserved for the solar panels. And here at the end is our Maxxair fan. And also we are thinking about a roof deck, but we're not sure if we have enough place to install it here, so we are thinking about it. We've chosen to place the Maxxair fan at this section of the roof at the end of the van. And we're going to do that because then you have a nice circulation of air, because the air conditioning in the front can also only ventilate, so then you have a nice airflow from the front of the van to the back of the van.
Drinking at the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Don't worry, that's a motto. So we keep moving along. Ooh. that's the motto. So we keep moving along.
Today is the first day in weeks that it's not 30 degrees or above, so yeah, it's quite nice. And last night we had the real first test for the seals because it rained quite severely and everything in the van is still dry, so yeah, we're quite happy with that. Today hopefully will be our last day of insulating, and when that's done we're going to apply the vapor barrier, but let's get on with the insulation first.
Drinking at the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Don't worry, that's the motto. So we keep moving.
This is how we're supposed to work. Every time we are cutting our insulation, Luna thinks, oh well, that's nice. I can lay down here. Isn't it, Looney?
So we keep moving along.
I've got a little bit mixed feelings about this week. I'm really happy with what we've done, and we've done a lot. It turns out really great, but it was so much more work than I thought.
I thought we would have the vapor barrier done today.
Yeah, I thought that too. This week at least,
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah. But
So
now,
much more work.
so next week,
Next week we'll do the vapor barrier.
yeah?
Hopefully it will go a bit faster than the insulating.
Yeah.
And when that is done, we are going to do the wiring, I think.
Oh, wiring. That should be fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. And I saw you connected the Maxxair fan.
Yeah, it works.
It really looks nice.
Yeah.
So for now, please like and subscribe. It really helps us growing our channel. And we see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye bye. See you next week.